Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, I have a couple interesting things sitting here. So, as you guys know, 8385 is one of the ones that I recently bought. And basically, it was going to be a pretty simple task just to paint the wheels and put some metal couplers on it and call it a day. And you guys can see I went a little bit in a different direction and decided to go that way with two of my units. Um, if you guys kind of look in my last couple videos, you'll see these locomotives sitting around in the back, and they didn't look like this before. And I decided for some reason, mainly because I had the parts and I just kind of felt like doing it, I went ahead and did the green nose and silver trucks on these units. Now, for those of you who have been on my channel a long time, and I've talked about it in the past before, but you know I've done this to my 8444 a long time ago. I actually did this long before 4014 was restored. And I think I even did that before 4014 was even a thing as far as UP reacquiring it. I basically did that to this unit so I could run it with my either my 8444 steam locomotive or my 844. And I always thought it was kind of a neat thing. I did have a Gevo that was like this, but I ended up changing that one around. So there for a while, this was the only kind of modern day locomotive that I had with the green nose and silver trucks. And I kind of wanted to do it again. So I had some silver trucks and I just had to paint the noses. Very carefully hand painted the green on the noses. And then just had to switch out the gray trucks for the silver trucks. Of course, 8385 got its wheels painted, and I actually put a newer set of wheels on both of these units. These are newer trucks with newer wheels, so they got all new. I even switched out the motors in them for newer motors. The panels are the same in them. I did try to upgrade the panels in these, but quickly found out that the little bit newer style panels that I have don't work for incandescent bulbs, and that's what these locomotives have. And I do not have enough LEDs to switch them over to LED, or I would have. But they still have DCC and sound. They just kind of run at a different speed from the Tsunami 2. These are both Tsunami 1s. But yeah, I decided to get a little creative and do a couple more units with the green nose and silver trucks kind of classic scheme. As you guys know, in the past I've talked about that is one of my favorite paint schemes, and I like it even more with the American flag scheme. I feel like these units look fantastic with the yellow sill stripes, the American flag, the Z line, or the lightning bolt line, whatever you want to call it. I think these units look really sharp. And so now, instead of just having my 8444 all dressed up, now I have two more units. And all of these units are Tsunami 1. So all three of those I can run together nicely. And I can run them with my steam locomotives, and kind of use these as some part of my heritage fleet. So as you guys know, I have all of the heritage locomotives, the special paint scheme locomotives, and then of course the We Are One sitting there. Yeah, so I technically added two more units to my heritage fleet. And of course, I can run anything in normal service as well. But these are going to look fantastic pulling a passenger train, especially if I put all 3 units together, that's going to look really sharp. Or if I want to, if I need to like DP a passenger train, have one on each end, that'll look really cool. But yeah, so I decided to go a little off of my original plans and kind of dressed these two up a little bit. So it's pretty cool having 3 units like this. Someday I would like to find the 4015 that Athearn did, that the UP Heritage crew painted up, painted the trucks and the nose on, just to have an actual unit that had that modern day style. But I'm pretty excited to have these as kind of some fantasy units, and they do look really sharp. I love how they came out. So yeah, that went from just painting the wheels on this unit to doing all that to both of these units. So that was a lot of extra work that I did not intend on doing, but definitely happy that I have, and pretty excited to have these now as kind of some special units. These two, they're all early units, but these two are a little bit earlier because they have the rear horn mounts on the backs there. 8444 does not have that because it's a little bit later, but it's still early enough to have the cab mounted headlight, and these do not have the isolated cabs. So as pretty much all of the Heritage fleet does. The only special painted SD70ACE that they have is the Spirit of Union Pacific 1943. That's a modern unit. That's an SD70AH with a nose light and an isolated cab. 1111 was done on an older unit, as I've talked about in the past, and then all of the rest. Basically, you could just look at them and see the only one that has a nose headlight is the most modern unit out of the fleet. So yeah, so definitely excited to have 3 of these units now in this very nice paint scheme, and kind of some fun things I can do with these later on, so that'll be cool. But yeah, just kind of all of a sudden was looking through some parts and noticed I had quite a few spare sets of silver trucks, and just kind of came up with the idea. It's like, well, painting the noses was the worst part of the trucks, was just switching out the trucks and painting the wheels and all that. But the noses are the hardest part on these, because there's a lot of angles, and I don't tape anything off. I just use you guys can kind of see my array of really tiny paint brushes that I have here and there. Probably about 4 coats of a thin green. I'm actually using an older paint, really old paint. They don't make this anymore. I'm using Polyscale C&W green for the nose. Kind of gives it that nice darker green that the modern Heritage fleet has, that darker green on the nose. Like 6936, the DD40, that had that darker green after they repainted the unit. So like the dark green on there. Yeah, so just kind of wanted to show you guys what I had going on there. Kind of been busy with those two. So now that these are done, all I have left, I believe, is to put this blue panel right here inside of 9000 and give that DCC and sound. And I did talk about putting these little bit newer panels into these 2 units back here, and I actually tried it with one of them, and I found out that those panels are not, I cannot use incandescent bulbs on those. And like I said before, I don't have enough LEDs to swap out in those units. So eventually that I might be upgrading quite a few of these to LED lights so I can upgrade the panels in them. But for now, they're fine. The ones that have Tsunami 1 run just fine. But yeah, so our next task will be to take these two apart, because I have to paint the wheels on... Oh, not that one. We just did that one. This one here, 9069. That one has the Tsunami 2. Just need to paint the wheels. And then 9000, we're going to give that Tsunami 2 and paint the wheels. So those two are up next. My next video will probably be of those completely apart, and kind of go over some things then. So that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, take care.